all y'all motherfuckers. Raising vibrations of getting their truth. Stop being like the other brother. Everything around us is just a distraction to keep us from connecting to who we really are. It's time for us to let this shit go so we can transcend this world. I just wanna raise my energy, free from all my enemies, Yes, child, so they can't hinder me. No, I'm tired, but I know I gotta fight. In this battle, taking all my mind, taking everything, but I know that it's gonna be alright. I know that it's gonna be alright. I know it's gonna be alright. I know that it's gonna be alright. He told me it's gonna be alright. That's what he told me. That's what he said. That's what he said. And I believe it. Tell me, do you believe it? Do you believe it? Let's see as we believe it. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. You should too.
Hallelujah. So that, yeah. Shalom, shalom, everybody. It's your brother Yaakov, Woodrow, whichever one y'all prefer. Here to talk to everybody a little bit today about a psalm that I stumbled on. Like my sis, once again, shout out to her. She told me, like, if you ever go to read and you don't know where to turn, just open the book up and you'll open up to something that you need to see. And that was definitely the case when I opened up to Psalm 31 a couple days ago. So without further ado, that's what I want to talk about today. Let's read it. In thee, O Yah, do I put my trust. Let me not be ashamed. Deliver me in thy righteousness. Bow down thine ear unto me. Deliver me speedily. Be thou my strong rock, and a house of defense to save me. For thou art my rock and my fortress. Therefore, for thy name's sake, lead me and guide me. Pull me out of the net that they have laid privily or privately for me. For thou art my strength. Into thine hand I commit my spirit. Thou hast redeemed me, O Yah, mighty one of truth. I have hated them that regard lying and vanity, but I trust in Yah. And we're going to get some precepts on that one out of Psalm 139. We also going to go to Jonah 2 and 8 and 1 Samuel 13 and 14. Because people always say that you're not supposed to hate nobody and all that. But David in 1 Samuel 13 and 14 said that David was a man after the Most High's own heart. And he said, this verse say, I have hated them that have regard lying vanities. So we might need to rethink that. Anyways, let's go to verse 7. I will be glad and rejoice in thy mercy, for thou hast considered my trouble. Thou hast known my soul in adversities. And Sirach 2 and 5 says, that's the way that he tests us in the furnace of adversity. Acceptable men are tested in the furnace of adversity. And it says, thou hast known my soul in adversity. So he tested David, and he knew that he was indeed what we just said, a man after the Most High's own heart. Through those adversities that he went through, that's how the Most High could figure out and know that he was worthy of that title. And has not shut me up into the hand of the enemy. thou hast set my feet in a large room. Have mercy on me, O Yah, for I am in trouble. My eye is consumed with grief. Yea, my soul and my belly. In famine thou shalt laugh. That's what Job 5:22 said. I'm sorry. It says, my soul and my belly. But Job 5:22 says, in famine thou shalt laugh. And 2nd Esdras 2, verses 27 and 28 also speak on that. For verse 10, for my life is spent with grief, and my years with sighing. My strength faileth because of mine iniquity, and my bones are consumed. I was a reproach among all my enemies, but especially among my neighbors, and fear to mine acquaintance. They that did see me without fled from me. Like, people ain't even want to associate with him. Like, people that knew him, acquaintances, they just would see him and go the other way. And that's what people will do a lot when you're doing bad. Or they sit there and kick it with you and then talk about you as soon as you leave out. I bet I don't know what that was. Probably the leaves made a big tree branch or something fall outside. Verse 12. I am forgotten as a dead man, out of mind. What do people say? Out of sight, out of mind. I am like a broken vessel. For I have heard the slander of many. Fear was on every side, while they took counsel together against me. They devised to take away my life. Isaiah 8:10 says, take counsel together, and it shall come to naught. Speak the word, and it shall not stand, for Yah is with us. So if you got Yah with you, don't even matter who all conspiring against you, because you and him is a majority, regardless how many is on the other side. Know that. Psalms 83 verses 3-5 also speak about the crafty counsel that some of the enemies took against Israel to cut them off from being a nation. That was their plan. But like I said, when you got the Most High with you, it don't matter what nobody got planned. They won't be able to pull it off. Everybody know Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. And every tongue that shall rise against you in judgment, you will condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Most High. It ain't for everybody. Some people quote that and be doing the dirt. But if you're on the Most High side, then it applies. Verse 14. But I trusted in thee, O Yah. I said, thou art my mighty one. Verse 15. My times are in thy hand. Deliver me from the hand of mine enemies, and from them that persecute me. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant. Save me for thy mercy's sake. Let me not be ashamed, O Yah, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in the grave. I see them memes say don't wish no bad upon nobody. That don't sound like what King David's saying right here. A lot of things that we taught, a lot of things that is popular, is not always what the Bible say. Just make a note of that. Now let lying lips, well, basically we are not the ones supposed to take action. But there's nothing wrong with calling upon the Most High to take action upon somebody who's constantly wronged or constantly is wronging you. You feel me? You're supposed to forgive. You're supposed to put it out your mind. What you do when it just persists, when they just keep on keeping on. That's when you call on your big brother, your dad. Like, come on, Dad. You see them picking at me, man. You just gonna let them keep picking with me every day? Please do something. You know, nothing wrong with that. Don't let nobody tell you that it is. We just getting it out the scriptures that it's not. And if that's not enough, what we said so far, we're going to go back and get some more. But let's finish this song first. Verse 18. No, 17. Let's do 17 again. Let me not be ashamed, O Yah, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in the grave. Verse 18. Now let lying lips be put to silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous. I didn't know what contemptuous meant, so I looked it up. Contemptuous is an adjective showing contempt, scornful. Similar words: scornful, disdainful, disrespectful, insulting, insolent, mocking, and scoffing. So, speaking words, just mocking somebody, man. Somebody that wasn't even bothering you for real. They do that against the righteous. People that's trying their best to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We get a lot of that taunting and high and mighty behavior. Somebody told me do the right thing, and it was actually the wrong thing. But it's not about me. We getting it back in the song. Verse 19. Oh, how great is thy goodness, which thou hast laid up for them that fear thee, which thou hast wrought for them that trust in thee, before the sons of men. Numbers 23:23 also says, what have the Most High wrought, when it says no enchantment against Jacob and no divination against the sons of Israel. You know, people try to put all types of spells and weird stuff on them, and it didn't work because they had the Most High with them. And that's what the people asked, like, what had the Most High wrought? And this verse right here said, how good is your goodness, which thou hast laid up for them that fear thee, which thou hast wrought for them that trust in thee, before the sons of men. And be a marvel to the sons of men when you keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. Another psalm said, and when the man's ways please the Most High, he make even his enemy to be at peace with him. This is verse 20. Thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy presence, from the pride of man. And Proverbs 29:23 says, a man's pride will bring him low. It might take a while, might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but it will happen. And we will probably see it. Verse 21. Blessed be Yah, for he hath showed me his marvelous kingdom, kindness, in a strong city. For I said in my haste, I am cut off from before thine eyes. Nevertheless, thou heardest the voice of my supplications when I cried unto thee. Like, he thought he was cut off, but the Most High still heard his prayers. O love Yah, all ye his saints, for Yah preserveth the faithful, and plentifully rewardeth the proud doer. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in Yah. And y'all know how we do it around here. I think that was pretty plain for real, but just in case, we're going to go to the good news. No, we're going to do the amplified version of this and read that in everybody's hearing, and then go back and touch them couple of precepts, and that should be it. That's cool with everybody. Cool, man, cool. Here we go. Psalm 31, Amplified Bible. A psalm of complaint and praise. Before I came into the truth, I was a big fan of a song called I Won't Complain. And I sung it at many funerals, many occasions, and people would hear me sing it, so they would call upon me to sing it other places. And one day, I just felt convicted because, looking at the people in the Bible, there's a whole book of Lamentations. It's not always bad to complain. Nobody want to be around somebody complaining 24/7. Complaining definitely can be draining, but there are times when complaining is in season. So I just want people to know that I don't subscribe to toxic positivity. You feel me? King David, once again, he's complaining in this psalm, but at the end of it, he ends up giving praise. So let's get it. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. In you, O Yah, I have placed my trust and taken refuge. Let me never be ashamed, and your righteousness rescue me. Incline your ear to me, deliver me quickly. Be my rock of refuge, a strong fortress to save me. Yes, you are my rock and my fortress. For your name's sake, you will lead me and guide me. You draw me out of the net that they have secretly laid for me. We read all the time about them nets and how the Most High will deliver us out of those nets. They definitely get set, but he'll make us able to walk around it, or won't be able to get caught up in it. However he does it, we can't tell him how to do it. And we never know how he's going to do it, but we know he's going to do it. For you are my strength and my stronghold. Into your hand I commit my spirit. You have redeemed me, O Yah, the Elohim of truth and faithfulness. I hate those who pay regard to vain, empty, worthless idols, but I trust in Yah and rely on him with unwavering confidence. So people that's trusting in a whole bunch of crazy stuff out here today. I see it all. You know, I'm sure y'all see it all. The stuff that people put their faith and trust in, and the stuff that they think is going to deliver them out of situations and stuff like that. But we go with what's tried and true over here. Most High been doing it all this time, and I got the faith that He's going to keep on doing it. Yes, sir. This is verse 7. I will rejoice and be glad in your steadfast love, because you have seen my affliction. You have taken note of my life's distresses, and you have not given me into the hand of the enemy. And Lord knows they tried. And probably still trying. You have set my feet in a broad place. Be gracious and compassionate to me, O Yah, for I am in trouble. My eye is clouded and weakened, my grief, my soul and my body also. No, stress don't just stay up here. Stress go all through your body and all through your health and everything. So that's what he's talking about, soul and his body. For my life is spent with sorrow and my years with sighing. My strength had failed because of my iniquity. Like, we don't sit over here and act like we just innocent. We don't do nothing wrong. We have done wrong things. I can't even say we. I have done wrong things, and I have paid the price. Physically, mentally, spiritually, all of that. You know. But like my mom said, before she used to give the physical whippings in real life, because my mom was the disciplinarian in my family growing up. You're going to get this, but afterwards you're going to be a much better person. And I feel like because of a lot of the stuff that I endured, I am a better person. That's what King David said in Psalm 119. It was good for me that I was afflicted, because that way I learned to keep thy laws and statutes. I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, he said it's a good thing that he got them whippings, them spiritual whippings, or whatever case the ones he got, is make you a much better person at the end. But they say you can't get the rainbow without the rain. No cross, no crown. It was a song they used to sing, gospel song I used to hear back in the day on the radio, and my folks used to play it. This is verse 10 again. For my life is spent with sorrow, and my years with sighing. My strength had failed because of my iniquity. Because nobody else can't blame everything on somebody else. Sometimes it's us. That's the reason what they say. Ain't always that the devil busy. Sometimes it's because you ain't busy. And sometimes it's because we busy doing something that we ain't got no business doing. So let's learn accountability. Very important. And even my body has wasted away. Because of all my enemies, I have become a reproach and disgrace, especially to my neighbors, and an object of dread to mine acquaintances. You know, some people, if people don't mess with you, they feel like if they get seen hanging around you, then people won't fool with them either. So some people will see you in a certain situation and they will get themselves away from you. Like, there's a book that a lot of people read and a lot of people study called The 48 Laws of Power. And one of the laws is to distance yourself from the unfortunate and the unlucky or whatever like that. Like, because they feel like it's just like something that'll jump off of them and jump onto you for real. And I understand not wanting to be around somebody who bring about their own downfall or whatever because of some behavior they doing. But somebody that's not doing anything, you know, like wrong, and they being singled out and unfairly treated and stuff like that. Like, even people will distance themselves from them. Like, I'll give you an example. Without getting into too much about, you know, like my former life or whatever, because I don't really like to talk about it, but so much. But bringing it up this time to make a point. I went to, at the time I was, you know, like still in correspondence with some of my former coworkers. So one of them invited me to one of their shows. And it was a thing where as though you had to go to Will Call and get your tickets. But because I observed the Sabbath, I didn't get on the road. Me and my brother who traveled with me to go to it, it was out of town. So we didn't get up the road until after Sabbath. So it was still like an hour and some change drive, maybe like 2-hour drive. So by the time we got there, the show was pretty much over. And the Will Call was nobody at Will Call because it wasn't really nobody else picking up tickets. Everybody who was going to be there was pretty much there. So I was able to call over a security officer, and they had the means to go into the office to look for the Will Call tickets. And they went in, but they didn't know where they were placed or whatever, so I couldn't find nothing. Best thing I could tell you to do is stand right here, and when they come out, because they gonna come up front and take pictures and meet and greet and everything like that, you'll see them when they come up front. Because I was looking very different at the time. You know, I had glasses. Somebody I knew very well over the years, like, didn't even recognize me. So it wasn't, like, physically recognizable that, oh, that's him. And he belonged, you know, wherever, whatever. So, and I don't expect that type of treatment anyway. But she was like, just stand out here. And whenever they come out for the meet and greet or whatever, if you're supposed to be wherever with them or whatever, then they'll see you and you'll go from there. So I recognized while I was standing out there waiting, matter of fact, Casey and JoJo, one of my favorite, you know, two of my favorite people, and one half of one of my favorite singing groups, Jodeci, was on stage, and I was able to stand at the door, even though I couldn't get in to the show. I was standing in the hallway, and I was able to look through the doors, which were open, and got to see some of their performance. So while they were performing, I saw a familiar face that I recognized from, I don't remember if it was MySpace or Facebook at that time. I think it was Facebook. So I spoke to the person, and they looked at me. They recognized me because I had been posting pictures and everything. I looked like my most recent pictures, just not the pictures from when I was doing that. So anyway, the person like spoke to me, but they were very like standoffish, like almost, like I said, like almost in fear of speaking to me or being seen with me because of the fact that I had separated from my former job. So they wanted to be close to the guys that were still doing the job that I was doing. So they didn't know if being seen with me or being seen associating with me would damage their rank or their position with those people. So they were very standoffish with me. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm alright, I'm fine. I'm like, yeah, man, you know, I know who you are from, you know, what you call, because she had very distinguishable features about herself. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to give her no shout out, and I don't want to, you know, she don't deserve all that. Anyway, fast forward, the night went on, my former coworkers came out, and we, you know, exchanged pleasantries and everything like that. The ones who I was still in conversation and contact with, we had conversation and you know, rap with each other and everything through that night. Took some photos with them and other artists who were on the bill or whatever. And the next day I went home, posted the pictures, and once this individual saw me in pictures with my former coworkers and it looked like, you know, like love or whatever from the pictures, then they reached out to another a mutual friend that this person that I had, and was like, this person want to meet you again. They was nervous when they met you, so they want to meet you again. I'm like, yeah, I bet you was nervous that them people was going to see you with me and cut you off. So that, you know, I mean, we met again, whatever, you know, but I just brought that up to say, you know, just to give my background story on something that I can relate in that verse, that when you are in a certain position or people looking at you being in a certain position, that even the people who were your acquaintances and supposed to be your friends and stuff like that will stand back from you. They will stand far from you because they don't want their reputation bothered by being standing next to you. So yeah, like it says, verse 12, I am like a dead man, out of mind. I am like a broken vessel, for I have heard the slander and whispering of many. Terror is on every side, while they scheme together against me. They plotted to take away my life. And, I mean, physical life is one thing, and, you know, we pray protection for that, but there's also, in the book of Sirach, in chapter 37, it say a person that takes away his neighbor's living slayeth him. And that's the same as being a bloodshedder. And I know definitely been plots to take away, and not even successful plots, to take away a lot of dollars from me. So, it's like sometimes we think in the physical, sometimes in the spiritual, and different ways to slay somebody, you know. And we pray Most High's protection on all of us from any of those ways, going here on out. And we will keep his commandments so that we will have that protection to the best of our ability, because we know it's not a man that walketh upon the earth that doeth good all the time and sinneth not. King Solomon said that to us in the scriptures. So ain't nobody walking around with a superiority complex like we just all good. Don't do no wrong. I know I'm not walking around here like that. I hope y'all not either. Says, but as for me, verse 14, I trust confidently in you and your greatness, O Yah. I said, you are my mighty one. My times are in your hands. Rescue me from the hand of my enemies and from those who pursue and persecute me. Make your face shine upon your servant. Save me in your loving kindness. Let me not be put to shame, O Yah, for I call on you. Let the wicked, godless be put to shame. Let them be silent in Sheol, the netherworld, the place of the dead. That's what King David asking. Let the lying lips be mute, which speak insolently and arrogantly against the consistently righteous. It's a bad thing to not want to, to want to commit yourself and your gift that the Most High gave you only to him and only for his purposes. That's a bad thing to a lot of people. Oh, get that bag. I'm saying get that bag. We just read last week, right? Riches profit you nothing in the day of evil. So that bag ain't going to save nobody. I was just out at a little event this weekend, and I seen people who's like family to me for real, but some of the other people got in their ears and they pulling me up like, oh, somebody asked me to relay this message to you, and I'm just saying, I know how you feel, I know how whatever, but get that bag, get that bag. And I'm like, hey bro, all help ain't good help, all money ain't good money. There's a way that seems right unto a man, but the ways thereof are the ways of death. I'm not saying for anybody else, but when you've been called and you know what you've been called to and you go against that, that's when you step outside that protection. That's when you trust in them lying vanities. Like, oh, I know bad. I understand, but things hard right now. Things crazy for everybody. So that couple dollars, that little cushion, will be what you need. But hey, you can have that little cushion. And if the Most High say, do this and you do that, who we gonna stand up to? Whose report we gonna believe? I'm sticking with the Most High. So anybody else who been told to deliver a message to me, you can go ahead and save that. You can go ahead and save your breath. As my one of my guy I used to hang out with back in the day used to say, man, save that breath. Might get a couple words, extra words out when you on your deathbed. Yeah, save your time talking to me about that. Anyway, this is verse 20. In the secret place of, verse 19. How great is your goodness, which you have stored up for those who reverently fear you, which you have prepared for those who take refuge in you. Psalm 91, he who dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. Trying to be one of them. Before the sons of man. Letting everybody know that's who your trust is in. I'm declaring that right now. When they say at church, I decree and I declare. My mom used to say, I do declare. In the secret place of your presence, you hide them from the plots and conspiracies of man. You keep them secretly in the shelter pavilion from the strife of tongues. And Job says, you hide them from the sword of the tongue. So they still talking, but he hide you from it. He keep you. You don't need to be concerned about that. You shouldn't be concerned about that, because it's what the Most High say that count anyway. People can talk all day. Blessed be Yah, for he hath shown his marvelous favor and loving kindness to me when I was assailed in a besieged city. He showed his kindness to me every time I get assailed, verbally or however way. Blessed be Yah, for he hath shown his marvelous favor and loving kindness to me when I was assailed in a besieged city. As for me, I said in my alarm, that's how I felt at the time. That's how he felt at the time. I am cut off from your eyes. Like, how you letting this happen? Like, come on now. Nevertheless, you heard the voice of my supplications, specific requests, when I cried to you for help. Oh, love Yah, all you his godly ones. Yah preserves the faithful, those with moral and spiritual integrity, and fully repays the self-righteousness of the arrogant. Be strong and let your hearts take courage, all you that wait for and confidently expect Yah. The ones that wait for him and confidently expect him, because that's what it said. You had no faith, therefore you will not be saved. That's in Sirach verse 2. It said, woe be unto those that and those who try to have it both ways, those who try to play both sides, like I said earlier, like, yeah, I understand I'm trying to serve the Most High, but it won't hurt to have that little cushion in the meantime, in between time. I can go ahead over here and do this real quick. He won't mind. What they tell you sometimes, even in church, like, man, go ahead and do that and bring a couple of them dollars here. We need things at this church. We need a new elevator. We need new benches. We need some of the windows replaced. So go ahead and do it. He won't mind. I've been told that by preachers, believe it or not. But yeah, let's get back into some of these. Hope that was pretty clear. You know, going back into the Amplified version. But let's go into this Psalms. We're going to go to Psalm 139, 21 to 24. And get something from King David about hate. Because people always say, oh, you're not supposed to hate anybody. If you love the Lord, you ain't supposed to hate nobody. What's wrong with you? I don't know about that, what you talking about. But let's see who do know about it. This is King David. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, and am grieved with those that arise up against thee. This is the New Living Translation. Oh yeah, shouldn't I hate those who hate you? Shouldn't I despise those who oppose you? As King David said. And this is, we read 1 Samuel 13 and 14, that David is a man after the Most High's own heart. So, yeah, enough about that. Let's go to Jonah 2 and 8, about those lying vanities. Jonah 2 and 8. They that observe lying vanities forsake their own mercy. And I love Pastor Marvin Winans. Well, I think Bishop. I don't know what title he had, but Marvin Winans from the legendary group The Winans, and one of my all-time favorite singers. He have a song on his album called When My Soul Fainteth, and it's about this verse in Jonah, about this chapter of Jonah. And he reads that verse, and just the way they sing it just always resonates with me. Every time I read it, I hear them singing it, him and his choir. But Amplified Bible puts it this way: those who regard and follow worthless idols turn away from their living source of mercy and loving kindness. Like people turn to these other idols, be it a artifact, a piece of something that they continue to be touched, be it, you know, like the universe and all that stuff, like they regarding all that, but they turning away from the real source that really make things happen, which is the Most High Yah. And, you know, I mean, some people call him God, but I read on the Psalm 68 and 4 where it says his name is Yah. Because it say Jah, but it wasn't no J back then, so Yah. That's who I regard. You know, that's who I look to for my help. You feel me? Who made heaven and earth. Just to be clear on that. So let's go to whatever precept that I promised to bring out. Oh, 2nd Esdras. This is from verse 9. It says, have mercy on me, O Yah, for I am in trouble. My eye is concerned with grief. Wait a minute. 1 second. Let me put this in so we can read that right after we read this. One more time. Verse 9. Have mercy on me, O Yah, for I am in trouble. My eye is concerned with grief. Yea, my soul and my belly in famine. Yea, my soul and my belly. This is 2nd Esdras 2 and 27. And it reads like this. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. That's 27. 28 says, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith Yah. That was 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, verse 27 and 28. Let me see if it was any more that we wanted to get. Yeah, let's do Numbers 23 and 23. Numbers 23 and 23. And this is when they had sent someone to curse the children of Israel, and this is what the conclusion that they came to. He said, surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what have the Most High wrought? And wrought means done. Let's get the New Living. No curse can touch Jacob. No magic has any power against Israel. For now it will be said of Jacob, what wonders Elohim has done for Israel. And the great John Todd, who did a very comprehensive study on like a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, like with music and stuff like that. Good point, excellent point that he brought out. He said that you can't put a spell on the children of Israel, but you can cause them to put it on themselves. Like you make a song that's real catchy and they singing that song all the time, you could bring spells and curses upon yourself. So it's very important to be very careful with what you sing, what you chant. Like you hear stuff on the radio and you just want to sing along because it sounds catchy or because it sounds good to you. Know what you're singing, know what you're rapping, know what you're saying. You feel me? And with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here because I'm looking at this time. I went real long. So hopefully that won't be a deterrent. But like I say all the time, you ain't got to look at me. Y'all know what I look like. Y'all can shut your eyes. Y'all can be doing other stuff. Just listen, and get the message, get the words that's being spoken. That's my hope. That's my prayer. And I pray the Most High bless and keep everybody watching and listening. And me too. In these days and times. Y'all be blessed. Be safe. Most High willing, we'll meet again real soon. Shalom.